Y'all, before we even get into it, this ain't just a podcast. This us talking to the block, to the moms, to the homies lost, to the ones fighting demons in silence, to the kings and queens that forgot their crown. We four brothers coming straight from mud, hitting the web not for clout but for purse bills. We them night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, hell first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the nighttime, tune in, feel the vibe. We 4 deep like corners on the block, mics hot in the lab. Cooking truth non-stop, no gimmicks. This ain't clickbait chatter, this heartbeat, struggling soul, blacker than batter. Got fam trying to heal, broke bills on the table. Talk health, mental wealth, if we able, we enable. From the hood to the web, we built this escape. Tired of seeing kings trapped in a lowercase fate. Click clack on the keys, we ain't just pie, we preaching. Street slang, health hacks, real talk reaching. See the system rigged, trying to cage our minds, but we cracking the code like it's Columbine. I'm the brother with the blueprint, knowledge in my stash, turn trauma to armor, pain into cash. 1 mic, 4 voices, no filters, no mask. We ain't just streaming, we building that path. We them night brothers, speaking truth to the mic, shining through the struggle, bringing dark to the light. Block to your soul, let the message ignite. Podcast for the people, every word take flight. Gritty like the grind, health first we strive. Social heat in the streets, trying to keep hope alive. 4 mics, 1 mission, make the people revive. It's the nighttime, tune in, feel the vibe.
Oh, yeah. 4 mics, 1 mission. Nighttime, not nighttime.
I seen young blood.
The first thing that we're going to do is talk about fasting. And I want you to just choose a method of fasting. And this is something that I believe in. Because not only have, as you said, I not only heard about it and experienced it, but I've tested it for myself.
I put here to you on this show. It's something that's not really known. It's something that you not see or hear about every day.
Start at a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window.
But whatever method you choose, just to have consistent effort with that. Implement some walking along with that. If you implement the walking along with the fasting, you're going to see great results.
It's a perfect supplement. Again, like what my brother just said, to fasting and walking.
Implementing some push-ups or some height training to your daily regimen. Number 4, black seed oil. If you're doing this on a consistent basis, you're going to find great results.
That black seed oil. That black seed oil, a lot of people don't know. The black seed oil gets its benefit.
As far as intermittent fasting, which is our recommendation, it could be an 18, 6, or 20 hours, and then 4 hours of an eating window. But we definitely want you to focus on intermittent fasting.
But it's something that is very important to your health.
As much as you possibly can. And, we're going to get to, how many days a week you can do it until you ramp it up into it being your lifestyle.
All right, fellas.
Good evening. What's going on, fellas? That was a throwback.
What's up, brother?
Instead of having a Thursday throwback, we had a Tuesday throwback. And back to a few years ago when in this format, we were just getting started. You guys, you know the original format, but in this format, we were just getting started, and we talked about fasting, and we're going to revisit that tonight, man, because there's so much that is still going on in that arena, Kenny. You know what I'm saying? There's still so much going on with that.
Absolutely.
And we want to remind some old members and inform some new members about what fasting can do for you in various facets of your life. Welcome, Pamela Smith, to the show. Lenny, how you doing, little brother? How you feeling, man?
Peace. I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right, first show of the year, man. I'm it's good to be back on the air, man. There's so much that's been going on, in our personal lives, the holidays, and everything else. Kenny, give me a little feedback how things been going for you, brother.
It is, brother. It's so much going on. There's so many changes. We got so much going on in our lives, both personally, professionally, as we go to work. and we live every day. There's a lot going on. But what we're going to talk about tonight, intermittent fasting is going to be a way to interject that with our fast-moving lives.
Yeah. Well, I want to welcome Darlene Collins to the show. I want to welcome Cheryl Queen to the show. I want to welcome Mimi Lee to the show. I want to welcome Pamela Smith. I want to welcome Darlene Collins and everybody else who comes on board. Just say hello so we can give you a shout out. We really, really love engaging with our audience, man. We always say that KBS is the show where your opinion matters. So we love having feedback from you. Your questions, your comments, are what helps drive this show. And you're as an important part of this show as the host. And we always want you to feel that way.
No doubt. Welcome back, everybody, into
New Year.
Stepping into 2026.
Yeah.
With just being blessed, first of all, whether you have a new mindset,
Amen to that,
new
brother.
vision, whatever it is that, you're happy to be into 2026 or whatever goals and aspirations that you may have, just welcome to the year because you didn't have to see it. And let's walk proudly and boldly into this year. So that's what we're going to say.
Yeah, Lenny, just to piggyback off that, we lost so many people in 2025, man. I mean, we lost on a local level, national level, even international level. We lost so many people during 2025. So if you're here, you're here tonight and you still made it over to 2026, consider yourself considerably blessed, man, just to be here. So we're thankful and thank God for that.
And it's a lot going on. I know it's a hell of a segue, but it's a lot going on in the sports world. We have the whole, what is it, the AFC North? Is that what the Ravens playing?
Yes.
The AFC North division has lost, let me see. They lost every coach except for one. They lost Tomlin today. Tomlin, he didn't retire. He just stepped away from the organization. Am I right with saying that?
That is correct. That is correct.
So he could wind up just like going to somebody else. Harbaugh got fired, terminated, and then Kevin Stefanski from the Cleveland Browns. Man, that whole football is crazy right now. That's all I can say.
I would
remind you, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Yep.
That
Kenny,
is so
you're
true.
absolutely right. At the end of the day, it's a business, and
it's a business like everything else.
The teams, it's win, or we got to make a move. We got to make a change. Margaret Nick, welcome to you, Margaret. Good to see you.
Nick, number one.
I think Margaret is a Cowboy fan, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Kenny?
Yep.
I think y'all was right.
And Margaret, also put down, if you still have Super Bowl blocks, put that down below people so people can know if they want to get on your Super Bowl pool.
Yes.
To reach out to you, because we gotta get that pool filled up before the
yes.
Super Bowl.
Margaret Nick, call me tomorrow, Margaret. Please call me tomorrow.
I want a couple spots, Margaret. If you could type in the chat group your email or some type of contact information so folks can get a hold of you, that would be great. Because we definitely want to push that. Orlando Maker definitely say, look, man, they changing up. Loaded, they changing up quarterbacks fast. Coaches faster than they can change their shoes or change their hat right now, boy.
Hey, Lodi, I've never seen this many changes at one time in 1 year for coaches, man. This thing is crazy right now. So.
They said that it's a possibility that Harbaugh or Tomlin could wind up back in the same division with opposite teams. I don't know about all that, but
that's a thought. But I couldn't say that.
Tomlin gonna take a year off.
Those two switch teams, that would be crazy. Hey, what's up, Armand? Could you imagine Tomlin and Harbaugh switching teams? Tomlin coaching the Ravens and Harbaugh coaching the Steelers. That would be, talk about being crazy as I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though. To me, I'm just talking off top of my head. But if the coach from Pittsburgh, Tomlin, went to coach Lamar, I think he could get Lamar over that hurdle.
I don't know about that.
He just get the right offensive coordinator, man. He's a hell of a motivator, man. Guy's a hell of a motivator, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know. The Ravens might go in the direction of one of those young, hot offensive coordinators, somebody who's a real offensive genius. It might go in that direction, but we'll see. Okay, Margaret says she has two $5, $10, and $20 blocks for her pool. So, Margaret, I might have to get a couple more blocks myself then. Okay. Oh, $2.10. The $5 one is
Mark Johnson is Mark. That's my boy. Mark, big time baller. You know what I mean? He's a big time. I think Mark is a big time Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yes,
So,
he is.
Mark, I want to
What's
know,
up, big
would you
homie?
support?
Hey, Mark, that was not a good performance last night, brother. You got called it like we see it. That was not a very good performance at all last night.
Who would you want, Mark, as a new head coach? That's what I want to know. So anyway, let's get with the show. While Mark is answering that, we can come back to it. All right, fellas, y'all ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah, man. And listen,
Nigga hot.
oh man, yes.
Man, I just want to lay in the shade, get in no shade, you know what I mean? And pontificate on life. We vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind go take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches. Thinking of what life teaches. So glad ain't fall from the deep end. Said we vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind gon' take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing.
Yes, sir. We vibing again tonight, y'all. And listen, man, we got a couple of things we want to discuss tonight. And like we always said, your opinion matters. And you know, we really look forward to hearing your opinion on things and your questions and your comments. But Margaret said they missed vibing. Yeah, I missed it too, Margaret. But listen, that first vibe tonight is going to be something that's really taking the news cycle by storm. And we're going to talk in a socially speaking segment. We're going to talk about the controversial ICE shooting of a U.S. citizen, Renee Good, in Minnesota. And we're going to look at this thing from all sides and we're going to be objective about our approach in looking at this thing. And we welcome your comments because I know there's going to be a lot of opinions on this. But we're gonna play some video clips for you, and then we're gonna discuss it. And then for our second vibe this evening, man, we're gonna go back to our roots. Lenny, sometimes it's good to go back to your roots, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. Because vibe number 2, we're gonna talk about intermittent fasting. It's gonna be a refresher for some people, and a beginning introduction for some others. Intermittent fasting, which is a lifestyle which I've adopted, and we're going to talk about that, and we want to break down some things and bring to remembrance some other things for some people as well. So back to you, Lenny. Let's get this thing started because we got a great show for them tonight.
Okay, they're approaching.
Yeah,
okay.
This is ICE agents just pulling up here. The vehicle is
Lower
right there.
And it happens so fast that it's hard to see what takes place in this particular video, but that is the front angle, and then we have also obtained some video from behind where it happens, but that is the vehicle that belongs to the woman who was killed today. And as Randy said, there were 3 agents in particular surrounding the car. It's unclear why she was parked at an angle in the street or what was happening in the street at that time. We do know that as they approached her vehicle, one agent told her to get out of the car, and then we see the car start to move, and then we hear the shots.
So that video you just saw is the one that President Trump also viewed this afternoon as well. And post watching that video, the president did put out a statement. I believe we have that for you. And it reads like this: I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. We will say from our observations, the officer does not appear to have been on the pavement. He was in front of that bumper at the time, but we never saw from any of our angles him hit the pavement. He goes on to say, is there more of the president's statement, or is this the full context? He goes on to say they are just trying to do a job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this, and these are his words, radical left movement of violence and hate. Again, that was President Trump's evaluation as he watched the video earlier.
And then we have the clip of the perspective from behind the vehicle as well that we want to show you. So you've seen the perspective from the front, and now we're going to show you the perspective from behind, from somebody who had a cell phone out at the scene when all of this. Very quickly, we're going to try to get to a point where we can maybe slow this down and show you some still shots. But as Randy was saying, we see all of the agents standing in the street, nobody on the ground. Again, that is the perspective from behind, and we've watched it several times. So again, that vehicle the woman was in is it's parked in the street. We don't know for how long though, and it was at an angle, and we know that ICE agents then approached that vehicle, and then the vehicle started to take off. Then after you hear the shots, it veers off into that parked car on the side of the street. Kristi Noem also issued a statement today, and I don't know if we can put it up on the screen, but just want to give you the perspective of all the different reactions that are coming in as a result of this shooting this morning. Noem saying it was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was
Here we go again.
Okay, I think we've seen enough of that, and I know by now, probably, half, if not more, of America has seen this thing by now. So I just want, audience, I want to ask y'all a question. And just really want to ask a question.
Turn the music down, please. Could you turn the music down?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, but I want to ask y'all a question. Q at the same time, I want to ask the audience a question.
Yes, sir.
But, just generally, from any perspective that you want to attack this, what's your general take, Kenny?
Here we go again. I looked at the video. The first video I saw was the last video that you showed, where it showed from behind the vehicle. I'm like, oh, that's murder. I did not see the cop in the front. Now, this officer that was in the front of the vehicle towards the driver's side, he was like almost perpendicular, and she accelerated towards him. In that situation, all bets are off. And this officer was supposedly, like last year, he was dragged. He got caught up and got dragged and got 36 stitches or something like that. So he already had, in his head, he already had a problem. They're going to get away with it. There'll be no charges filed against the officer because he was in front of the car. She accelerated. He jumped out of the way and fired. He's going to say he was in fear for his life. The question now becomes, why was she there in a position that she was? And I believe ICE was there doing something, serving something, no warrant, whatever. But the question now becomes, why was she there in that position? And when they ran up on her, they told her to get out of the car, and she said no. And when she was driving off, there's a video where she says, "I'm not mad at you." And the cop that shot her called her a fucking B.
Yeah, B. The B word.
Mm-hmm. And then she drove off at the other officer. He shot and killed her 3 times. I think twice in the face, one in the chest. So it's going to be, he's going to be exonerated. He's not going to be charged. I guarantee you that. But the question now becomes, why was she there in that situation? Because she was doing some kind of protest. And the lady that Trump, I don't know why we put Trump in this, but the lady that Trump was talking about was her wife.
The one he called a professional
He called a professional agitator. The one he called professional agitator.
The one he called a professional agitator was actually her wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He's not going to be charged because she did accelerate and it was an officer. Yeah. You can even we can split hairs and say, oh, well, he's this ICE thing and they're not qualified and all that. You can split hairs to do that, but that is still a federal law enforcement officer in front of a car, and she accelerated and she got shot. So unfortunately, I do not believe any charges are going to be filed.
I just want to add to this. I am not, but in no means am I justifying the shooting at all.
Me either.
But the situation could have been deflated and probably even not taking place at all with compliance. You know, if they ask you to get out of the car, get out of the car. Okay. If an officer gives you a command like that, you know, if you just follow that command, that may have taken the temperature down a little bit, and maybe it might not have come to that. But with that being said, there's no way I can look at that incident and say the actions weren't excessive to me. They were excessive. And I heard someone say, well, they're taught to shoot 3 times. I think shooting this woman at that time for that incident was way over the top. That could have been handled in a much different way. You knew the car, you know who was driving the car, you could see the tags of the car. You could have gotten her at any time. If she broke some kind of law, if she was some kind of violent criminal, I understand that. But she was not a violent criminal. And that could have been handled a lot differently. But once again, I go back to the fact that compliance may have prevented all of that.
May have saved her life.
Yeah, it may have saved her life. So
in this day and age, to piggyback off of what you're saying, E,
yes.
In this day and age, they run up on me like that, get out of the car. I got to get out.
Yes.
I'm going to live to fight another day. If this whole interaction is wrong,
yes,
we're going to live to fight another day. But today, they shooting to kill. And like I said, it's really a sad situation. Like you said, it didn't have to happen. But
Let me ask
he's
the
going
audience.
to get away with it.
Yeah.
Let me ask the audience this, and I'm asking y'all this too. You gotta put together the climate of the situation and the past histories of ISIS's behaviors.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Lenny.
so hold on. So let me string this together for you. So going on ISIS's past history of behaviors, starting from the Latino guy that's from Maryland, ironically, that was, you know, months ago, that was taken and imprisoned and sent to a foreign country that he wasn't even from and jailed. And the numerous people that was, remember Alligator Island or whatever they had down in Florida where they were just yanking people and imprison them in a boot camp damn near in Florida, remember that? And the numerous other people that ICE have snatched out of, and I'm talking about innocent people as well, or people that did not get due diligence or did not get full justice of the law. They just was presumed to be guilty and imprisoned and locked away and snatched from their families. So the question is this, audience, you, Q, Kenny, if ICE roll up on you and you're in a vehicle, are you really want to get out the car and let them snatch you up so your ass could be missing for days or weeks on end without justification or without just cause, without follow-up or just due? Do you really want to do that? Now, I know, like you said, Q, maybe she shouldn't have put herself in a situation. I always, taught myself, not to put myself in situations that I don't need to be. You know what I mean? And because it could wind up in a bad situation, especially as I aged and got a little bit more mature with situations. But I think she assuming I'm a white woman, I'm a U.S. citizen, they ain't gonna do nothing to me. Especially I'm a white woman. And I hate to say that, but I'm just calling the facts facts. Would you have gotten out of the car, audience? Margaret Nick, Mimi Lee, on down Alma Wallace, on down the line. Would you have gotten out the car under that command, knowing, the probability or the percentage of you getting locked away somewhere, away from your situation, were better than 50%?
Lenny, you said something that she was a white woman. And to me, that was all the more reason why. And if you have not committed a crime of any type, your record's good. That's all the more reason to comply with them. To me, just my personal opinion. Okay, well, I'm gonna get out of the car. You're not arresting. What do you want me to get off the car? I'm gonna get out of the car. And all kinds of people were filming with their phones and they said they even said she was filming with her phone. So
what does that mean?
That's all the more reason I would have gotten out my car. I would just complied with them rather than
filming with your phone mean? What is are you saying filming with the phone is help?
Yeah, people making videos. People were making videos of what was taking place.
That's not an intimidation factor or a fear factor for for those agents anymore, particularly when they know that, Vance is saying you have full immunity and this and that, and they just giving them carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want. So I'm a shift to my other question is that is the outcome justified? Was this a form of excessive force? Q, we know your opinion on it. Did the officer's prior incident, should that be used as justification for him to shoot? Because he was dragged in another situation. So if somebody called you something or did something to you in one situation, as an officer, a trained officer, and I really don't think they've been trained that much because officers are taught to de-escalate situation. And this guy incited and escalated the situation to the highest level. So I think their training is definitely questionable. But the whole matter of the thing is, was he justified in shooting because he was dragged before? And was it excessive force? Form of excessive force, Kenny?
Yes. Was it excessive force? Could he have de-escalated? Yes. But again, under the current regime, and I'm not going to say administration, I'm going to say regime that we're under, this will be justified. He'll get away with it. But again, he was in front of a vehicle that accelerated towards him. That is going to be the one and the only thing that they're going to use as justification in the shooting. And like you said, you put yourself in that situation.
Do you know the law behind that, though, Kenny? The
law behind, I read that ICE is not even supposed to be able to do that.
Right.
Jumping in front of cars, detaining cars.
Right.
But that's like a mute point at this point, because there was an officer, and he's going to say, I felt threatened for my life. Here we go.
Yep. So here's the big question, though, that we all got to wrestle with. What should happen legally with the incident? Yeah, we got a couple opinions already. And will the decision set up a foreshadowing for the future on how ICE will use force? Absolutely. Because to just get away with this sets up a whole probability that future incidents could happen, and this could become, for lack of a better term, the new norm with how to handle a situation. Do we want this as a new norm in America? Where more folks can just pull out their weapon and discharge on Wallace? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Come on, brothers. Wallace was in the military. They tell you don't. Go ahead, Q, I'm sorry.
There some pushback on this, man. It really, and it has been. There are protests breaking out all over the place about this. But there has to be pushback on this, because this cannot be allowed as to become the new norm, as you stated, Lanny. And just to deviate from this for a second, one of the things that the president said that, it was about protection of officers. About protecting the officers. That's why he used force. Well, where was that protection? Where was that thought of protecting officers on January 6th? Where was that same thought process then? What was the backing of the blue then? So they pick and choose when they want to support certain causes.
Yeah.
It's just not not something that's fair across the board. And you're gonna have.
I don't know if anybody remembers. We had Harry Dunn, the guy that was one of the guys that were getting chased through the Capitol on the show.
Yes.
He told us what happened. He was there. Just like you said, where was this legality in January 6th?
Yeah. It just really makes me think about, the Gestapo practices that are being unleashed on American citizens. That could become a new norm.
Yep.
And do we want to live in a prison state like that? Because that's what we would be becoming.
Police state.
Yeah, police
that's
prison
borderline
state.
A violation of the Third Amendment. No soldiers in the home. We're teetering with that right now. It's headed in that direction.
No question.
Yeah. So, all right, look, we're going to drop that and go back to fasting, for that could take up the whole damn show.
Yeah,
that situation. So,
man.
But we can keep it moving.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Night Brothers Show, the first show in 2026. We're going to keep us legal and give you the disclaimer, medical disclaimer on what we're talking about tonight. We are not doctors or physicians. We are not providing any medical advice. This info is for educational purposes only. Something you can use for yourself. Something that we use that works for us. Before trying anything you hear on this show, or anywhere else for that matter. And like I keep saying, everybody laughs. Sometimes I have to ask the doctor, can I go outside? Please get advice from your physician before attempting anything you've seen on this show.
The 16-8 fasting is possibly the easiest weight loss and wellness method you could find. So, if you're watching this video, you're probably a beginner in this method, want to try it out, and see for yourself how it'll benefit, right? So, we're here to give you 5 main steps on how to start 16-8 intermittent fasting and how not to fail in it at the very start. Step number 1, understand how 16-8 works. Okay, so for those who are not sure what 16-8 really is, let us explain it a bit. Just to make sure we're on the same page. 16-8 is a form of intermittent fasting when you eat during the 8-hour window. During these 8 hours, you can eat all your meals and snacks, and the rest 16 hours, you fast. During your fasting window, you can only drink unsweetened drinks, such as water, tea, or coffee. But why should you choose intermittent fasting? Well, it's an effective way to lose weight, improve blood sugar, boost brain function, and increase longevity. Also, the 16-8 pattern is really flexible and easy to follow because you decide the most convenient timing of your eating and fasting windows. For example, you can eat between noon and 8 p.m., which means you'll only need to fast overnight and skip breakfast. It's super beneficial to stick with this form over the long term because without counting every single calorie, you're still losing weight. But as simple as it sounds, we know that it can be complicated at the very beginning, so let's move to another step. Step number 2, fighting your hunger pangs. You might be struggling with your hunger at the very beginning of 16-8. We're not gonna lie, you will get hungry. It's simply because your body isn't used to going long periods without food. Think of your stomach as something that needs to be trained. It means fasting will be difficult, but after a 3 to 5 day transition, your body will become more comfortable without stuffing loads of food into your stomach. We strongly suggest keeping yourself busy to stay on track, especially at the very beginning. It's much easier to stick to your fast if you don't have tons of time to snack. Because come on guys, bored eating is bad eating. Step number 3, drink loads of water. Okay, so another must thing to do during 16-8 fasting, drink your water. Even if you're not fasting, we're pretty sure you're not drinking enough of it, right? During fasting, it is really important to keep up your water intake. Water cleans out your whole system and effectively removes toxins from your body. Drinking water regularly can help you reduce calorie intake because people often mistake thirst for hunger. So here's the tip. Drink at least 8 glasses of water every day. Make sure you drink a glass of water first thing in the morning and before every meal. That's 4 glasses already. Later on, you'll notice that drinking water is turning into a habit. Step number 4, avoid snacking by this simple step. Alright, so raise your hand if you've ever gone to the movies after your eating window and suddenly wanted some snacks and a gallon of cola? Yep, same here! By choosing the hours when you eat, you may notice some patterns you didn't pay attention to before. Let's say you're the person who just loves to snack while watching TV. So if you're fasting, for example, after 7 p.m., you've automatically cut hours from your after-dinner snacking. So how could you solve this problem? Easy as that. Going to bed earlier. You see, building a steady and regular sleep schedule will help you minimize food cravings, improve metabolism, and will boost your weight loss results. Another thing, a regular sleep schedule will help you relieve your stress. High stress causes the body to store fat to protect itself, so by reducing stress, you will keep the pounds off. So, get some sleep! Step number 5, don't overindulge in unhealthy food. You've probably heard it before about fasting. Eat whatever you want, or don't stop eating your favorite foods. This is true, but most of the time, people take this idea a little too far. Sure, you can have a burger once in a while, but having it every time during your fasting window will mess up all your results. While the 16-8 fasting doesn't specify which foods to eat and avoid, it's important to focus on healthful eating and to limit or avoid junk foods. You can eat what you want, but you still need to maintain a balanced diet full of vegetables, whole grains, and good fats that will keep you full. Make sure you eat enough to make it through your next fasting window. If you're really hungry because you didn't eat a full meal, you're much more likely to break your fast. Listen guys, just close your kitchen door after dinner, get more sleep, eat enough to make it through your next fasting window, and soon you'll notice positive results with your weight loss and overall health. If you are struggling with food cravings during fasting, watch the video 4 ways to reduce hunger during intermittent fasting. And if you want to find out how to choose the right drinks while fasting, check out top 6 drinks that make your fasting easier. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Health Insider.
Shout outs to Health Insider as the video content creator for that video.
Yes. And I want to send a shout out to Dr. Mark Wainwright, Pastor First Baptist Church, too, who joined us and got a little hello answer. How you doing, Pastor Wainwright?
Pastor Wainwright.
Man, he's looking great. He's looking great these days, Lonnie. That brother has really changed tremendously.
Well, I'm sure he mixed in some fasting there, and hello.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
The nutrition.
And,
got the nutrition in place.
We're going to talk about fasting a little bit as a tool to lose weight, but I also, before we dive deep into fasting as a tool to lose weight, I just want to say fasting is much more than that.
Absolutely.
Fasting is a tool of medication. You see that one down that says protection against diseases?
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that very seriously because particularly as we age and we get to this point in life, fasting cleans up. I don't need to talk about everything, but I'm just saying it's a medicative tool that can be used to help your body offset a lot of things. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone, and we'll talk about it because I'm about to give away all the secrets. Kenny, where you go? Let's talk about this because Margaret says in a comment, she said, I am glad, because I feel the same way, Margaret. I am glad that you are revisiting and sharing this information. I went to the doctor today, and I need to get back on track.
There we go, Miss Nick.
You ain't alone, baby. You ain't alone, baby.
You're not alone, Margaret. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I'm really so glad that we're going back to the roots of the show on intermittent fasting. The first thing we're going to talk about is 16-8 and what it actually means. It means exactly what it says. You fast for 16 hours and you eat during the 8-hour window. Okay? To give you an example, you eat your last meal at 8 p.m., right? You don't eat anything else until noon the next day. Now, that sounds like a long time, but you're not counting, and what's not thought of doing fasting is your sleep time. That counts towards fasting. Mm-hmm. So if you eat your last meal at 8 o'clock, which is a little late, but okay. You eat your last meal at 8 o'clock. You go to sleep around 9 or 10. You get up, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You only have 4 hours left, and you completed a 16-hour window. You're not skipping food. You're giving your body a break from constantly eating and having your body to process all this food all the time, up and down, up and down. It actually speeds up your metabolism. And the challenge a lot of us are going to feel, and I'm going to jump right into my next question. Why does the 16-8 method work so well for beginners? What I just said, it happens. You got 8 hours. If you sleep at least 8 hours a night, that's 8 hours. That is half of this window, and you're asleep. All you have to do is fight the temptation. I'm going to talk about temptation. I manage grocery stores all through Jersey, New York, and all. And the temptation is when you're on the move, you have a higher propensity to eat bad. In the morning, with the operational clock, some of my biggest stores, they have that wing bar and that hot bar, and you start smelling that at 9 o'clock in the morning. And keep in mind, you haven't eaten since 8 o'clock that night. Okay, so you're 12, 13 hours in, you think, oh, I can cheat. No, you can't, because you just defeated the whole purpose of why you're fasting. But to have that smell, them fresh chicken wings in the morning when they put them out, and it's 9 to the clock, boy, I'm the biggest violator. And some of my biggest stores have that wing bar and have the hot bar with the ribs and the broccoli and all that. So when starting this fasting, starting with the 16-8, not just following the directions they give you, it's temptation. It's in your mind of what you can and cannot do. You know you can't do this. You want to drink plenty of water, and water pacifies your hunger pains. But going with the 16-8 is a great thing. It's a great way to start. But you have to focus on fighting the temptation. When you smell them wings or burgers or wherever you work, or if you work in an office, you sit down all day and you smell in the cafeteria. Oh, what they having for lunch? You talking about lunch and it's 9:30. You know what I mean? That's a problem. That's a problem for me. And I'm up and down with it. I'm about 8 pounds down right now, and I'm continuing to share that journey with y'all. But temptation is a you know what.
No doubt. Great job, Kenny. And I want to give recognition to Cheryl. She said she started implementing fasting. She was doing the 16-8 methods, but you just said fast for 16 hours, don't eat for 16 hours, and then eat within an 8-hour window, and then go back to fasting. She said her results were she started at 225 pounds, and she's down to 206, and now she's upping her fasting window where she's not going to eat for 18 hours, not just 16, but she's going to narrow her eating window down to 6 hours, which is going to be tremendously
Congratulations, Cheryl.
to her results. And shout out, because anybody that can lose almost 20 pounds, you are doing amazing things, because it's hard as heck to lose 20 pounds.
Shout out
so
to
I'm going to
Cheryl.
give you mad shout
Cheryl,
out.
keep us posted on your progress, Cheryl.
Yep.
Started in September, and she's down 20 pounds.
Ooh.
And for a grown
And during the holiday
adult,
season at that, so that's even more
that's
of a
what I'm.
challenge.
Come on, Q, come on. For a grown adult, that's amazing results. Absolutely amazing results.
Yes.
Dr. Wainwright, First Baptist Church, no shameless plug. Sunday mornings you can go to the church and
Yes, sir.
participate and get your groove on. You know what I mean? Get your spiritual groove on. Pay some tithes and everything else. Enjoying the
Yes,
fellowship.
sir.
So
Hey,
you know,
We welcome you. We welcome you at First Baptist Church of Annapolis. I'd love to see you guys there.
go ahead and read this comment while you got it, Q.
Yes. Pastor Wainwright said, when starting 16 and 8, is there anything we should avoid or limit? Sugar, sodium, etc. Dr. Wainwright, that is a very good question, Lenny. I'm gonna let you go first. Then I don't want to dominate the conversation. I want you to make your comments first, please. You would.
No, I think you're going to pick up on this, but I will say this, Dr. Wainwright. Q is going to answer some of that in a little bit. So just hold tight, and we're going to get to that, because I know that's a thought on a lot of people's mind.
Oh, yes.
Another thought that's on people's mind when they start thinking about fasting is hunger pangs. And what can folks expect at the beginning? Because a lot of people may want to start, but the sign of the first hunger pains, could you help folks with that, Q? And then we're going to transition into Dr. Wainwright's answer.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I always try to be upfront with people, particularly when they're new to intermittent fasting. And are you going to have hunger pains? The answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Reason being, as the video touched on a little bit, is because your body is used to having food on a routine basis, and you're disrupting that routine that your body has grown accustomed to. You're shutting it down, and your body's reaction, your natural reaction, particularly in the early phase, is hold up. Where's that food I've been getting all along? Where is that food? And so, because it's not getting it, that body starts to do some crazy stuff like have you thinking, oh my God, I need to have something to eat now. I need it now. I can't do this. I'm starving. When you're really not starving, a lot of times it's you're thirsty. But we'll handle that a little bit too. So yeah, you're gonna have hunger pains when you first start. But what can you do to help reduce these hunger pains during your fasting window? First of all, drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water or beverages that have no caloric intake, such as black coffee, tea without any sugar or cream, things of that nature, because they'll help to satiate you, and they won't break your fast, and they'll help give you that feeling of fullness. Drinking water is very, very important, because, like I said, it can help you to get through those tough stretches and help to get you past those hunger pains that you're feeling. And that's something that goes away. Your body becomes trained, and after that first week or so, those hunger pains that you're having because you're now adopted fasting will subside, and you'll find that, oh, this is getting easy now.
So that goes along with answering part of Dr. Wainwright's question about when starting 16A, is there anything that we should avoid or limit, sugar and all those types of things? Yes, limit all forms of anything that has a caloric value. You need to not ingest during your fasting window. So you could have a flavored water as long as it doesn't have calories in it, something like a sparkling water. You can have a coffee without the coffee. Without the sugar or cream, because those have caloric value to them. So things of that nature. Anything with sugar in it, Now, sodium, it is shown that during fasting that if you add like a pinch of Himalayan salt or something like that, it's actually good for you in your fasting window.
Yes.
So, Dr. Wainwright, that is definitely will help you out.
Could you put his question back up for a minute, Lanny? Could you put his question back up for a second, though? Because I want to see something else when he asked his question, if you would. Okay, and I'm thinking, I want to handle this from the other end too. If you're thinking when you're breaking your fast, is there anything you should avoid doing breaking your fast as well? Because I'm thinking that may be what he's asking as well. And when you're first breaking your fast, you want to be careful in what you consume too, because if you consume sugar and sugary things like that, when you're first breaking your fast, what they do is they spike your insulin levels and drive your insulin levels up sky high. Understand what I'm saying, Lanny? And it takes a long time for your insulin levels to come back down and reduce to get you back in the fat burning mode.
Absolutely. Wallace was saying that he's currently doing the 21-day Daniel fast with my home church, Kingdom Fellowship, and there is a full-fledged all-day night vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, sea moss, and water since January 2nd, after the holidays. And any form of fasting, any form of abstaining from your normal, what we call the SAD diet, the standard American diet, I am for it. So the Daniel diet, Daniel fast is another good method. And it could be a segue to getting all the way into intermittent fasting. So, because during the Daniel fast, and I'm just going to throw it back up to, you can see some of the contents of what Armand said they can consume. Might be a segue to you getting out of the Daniel fast, especially after 21 days, because you are eating something. You're not like going all of these hours without eating. And then you segue into an intermittent fasting, you are actually practicing what you need to do to get ready as a precursor to go full-fledged into an intermittent fasting situation. So I love that, Armand, as a possibility to do that.
One of the things I wanted to add too, what Armand said is and we don't talk about this enough, and Dr. Wainwright is on here as well, but fasting is scripturally based, and I talk about that with my uncle Pastor Herndon in Philadelphia all the time. And fasting, they're doing the fast right now at their church on Mondays, but it's scripturally based, so that's something that's found biblically.
It is.
It's biblically. Some things come by praying and fasting. And Pastor Wainwright, back me up on that if I'm wrong, but the Bible tells us that some things only come by fasting and praying. So it's right there in the Bible that fasting is something that can be important to our lives.
No doubt. Kenny, I want to come your way. I'm gonna throw both questions up on the screen so you can tackle them in the way that only Kenny can tackle things. But number one, explain why water is particularly important while fasting, and then how much water should I aim for each day while I am fasting.
Drinking water is important, period. First of all, we're talking about the hydration. You can be dehydrated and you're not even thirsty. You can be dehydrated and you're not even thirsty. But water helps control hunger. It supports digestion. It flushes you. It keeps everything moving and flowing. And that's a big part. Even when you're fasting and dieting and exercising, it's flushing. Going to the bathroom regularly. It prevents headaches. It prevents you cramping and all that. But being dehydrated and not knowing it, okay, let me give you an example. And this is what I've experienced. And Q touched on it. You're thinking, oh man, I'm hungry. I'm really, really hungry. And I get this plate of food, and I start eating. And I eat a little more, and then I drink my water, and I'm not hungry anymore. I wasn't hungry, I was thirsty. And I've learned it. I'm like, wow. And this late in life, I've learned like, wow, I wasn't really hungry. And it's not like a quick Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. I drank this water. I'm full, and this food is sitting here. I've actually thrown food away. Like, I don't even want this. I wasn't hungry. I was thirsty. And that's something to keep in mind. A good starting goal on how much water should you, I know we're close for time, so I'm going to keep it moving. On how much water should I aim for each day? You want to drink half your body weight in ounces per day. And if you're more active, you're walking like Q, walking up 95, and you're in the gym and you're sweating. Of course, you could need more water. And you can add drinks that include electrolytes if needed, especially when you're starting, because your body hasn't reacted, it hasn't implemented changes yet. So you want to drink a little more water. You can't right now drinking a lot of water. You've heard can be bad for you. I don't know. I haven't met anybody that has experienced that. I don't know if any of you have, but you want to drink half of your body weight in ounces per day, and as active as you are, you want to drink more because you sweat and you're sweating more, especially in the beginning.
Carry on, Kenny. Talk about these two things as far as snacking and adjusting hours when you're snacking and eating.
Here is my biggest mistake is late night snacking. Even I found myself when I was fasting, when I was really into it, and I fasted all day, and then I get home and I start lying to myself. I start feeling the hunger pains that E just talked about, which are not really hunger pains, it's your body adjusting. And I start lying to myself, oh, I've done good today, so I'm gonna have this cheeseburger with the jalapenos and cheese and lettuce and onions and my garlic aioli, and I might even throw in a few sweet potato fries. I just blew everything I've done all day long. I just blew it. But that's what I said earlier, fighting that temptation to eat, oh, I'm going to be okay. Not in the beginning. If you implement it into a lifestyle, and you can touch on this, you can slip off and have those chips. You can slip off and have that hamburger, but this is your lifestyle every day. But if you're just starting, you got to walk the straight and narrow.
Amen.
Adjusting
Amen.
bedtime helps to stop late night snacking. Yes, the later you stay up, the more happy you are. Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm watching this game. Like there's a game on right now I want to watch, but I can't. Oh, I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to stay up till 11. I haven't eaten. I'm going to get these chips. I'm going to make this burger again. I'm going to fix this hot dog. So going to bed at a reasonable time also helps with that late night snacking, which is a big problem of mine. You can have a nightly routine like tea. I'm going to have my nightly tea. Some people read, some people stretch, and that gives your brain a signal that the kitchen is closed. We're done eating for the night. And once you implement that into a lifestyle, once you make this a lifestyle, these choices are going to be easier to make.
You are so right, Kenny, and great information, Kenny. I like the part that says you're giving your brain a signal that the kitchen is closed. Because everything is about a habit. And if we develop bad habits of eating, you could just as easily create new ones and turn things around tremendously. Q. This is what Dr. Wainwright was saying before you answer that, though. He did go on to say, Q, remember, we are calling for a church-wide fast during the Lenten season.
Amen.
We will have multiple options of fasting, the Daniel fast, intermittent fasting, and etc. And let me know when y'all start that, Dr. Wainwright, because we might want to have you come on just for a little bit to talk about that as we encourage people.
We will set that up.
Audience as well too.
Yep.
All right.
But
go ahead, Q.
Can I eat whatever I want when I'm breaking my fast? Why technically you can, but it's not a good idea at all. And I touched on it earlier. Because when you first break your fast, remember your body's been in a fasted state, you haven't had food for 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, however long you fasted. When you first break your fast, it's important that you choose wisely, I find, because if you come out of the gate with, okay, say you're breaking your fast and the first thing you have is a bunch of donuts and some ice cream. Well, you're full of sugar and things of that nature. And once that's, like I said, you're spiking your insulin levels. You raise your insulin levels through the roof. And it takes a long time for your insulin levels to recover and come back down. But if you break your fast with something like salad, a garden salad, leafy salad, break it with that first. That just takes your insulin levels up a little bit. And then you can add the other stuff. You can add your proteins. You can add even your starches, things of that nature. Then your your body gets a chance to be adjusted already. Okay, I'm out of that fat burning mode, but your insulin levels are not going to go through the roof. So it's important that you break your fast with the right way. And I always suggest salad. You can have raw vegetables, carrots, celery, even steamed vegetables, broccoli. You can start with vegetables first or something like that. Then you can shift into those other things. You want to have a hamburger? Have a hamburger. You want to have some rice? Have some rice, whatever. But starting with, I always recommend vegetables or fruits, apples, things of that nature. Stuff that's not really heavy with sugar, as far as fruits are concerned. What's a better way to consider breaking the fast? I think I just answered that by starting with those things. So let's move on to the next step.
Oh, you can keep it going, brother. You can keep it going.
Yeah.
1 and 2 for you.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake people make that cause them to fail.
Oh my goodness gracious. First of all, it's expectations. I find expectations is a big issue for people because let's see, you've been going 20 years and eating however you want, 30 years eating the wherever you want, and what happens is you gradually over the course of time, you gain weight. You gain 2 pounds here, you gain 3 more pounds the next year, 3 or 4 pounds the next year, and so on and so forth. And you're stacking up and you're gaining weight. Well, people expect the intermittent fasting and to drop it all off at one time. It doesn't happen that way for most people. And I'll share my story a little later. But like Cheryl Queen, she said she started since September. And she's gradually, I can tell, she's lost 20 pounds. She's gradually lost the weight. And I'm sure she feels a heck of a lot better. So it's setting reasonable expectations for yourself, okay? So don't let that be a problem for you that this is not working for me. I want you to think of it as I want you to think of it as more of a lifestyle and not a diet. That's where people get hung up. They think of it as just a diet, a temporary solution. They should think of it as a lifestyle, something they want to adapt for the rest of their lives. And don't be too aggressive. The last thing I want to say, don't be too aggressive in starting your fasting. Now, I'm sharing my story. I started and I went gun-ho. And I didn't, because I really didn't, I wasn't as well versed in fasting. I started with doing which I wouldn't recommend to anybody. I was eating 1 meal a day. I was eating I was doing OMAD. I started with OMAD, eating 1 meal a day. But because I started there, I saw incredible results. Because I was so locked in at that time, I saw incredible results. And in like 45 days time, these incredible, crazy results were happening for me. And that spurred me on to continue to do that. But that's tough for the average person to do. I highly recommend, as Lenny said earlier, we talked about earlier, to working your way up to that. Start with a 16-hour fast. You can't do 16, start with 14 and build to 16. And then go from there.
I would even say do that Daniel fast that people are talking about earlier tonight, and then ease your way into something else. Or if you can't do 16 hours, start with 12 hours.
Yes, ease your way to it.
Anything to change your habit. And this is the reason why I say this, is because, I need to do a couple things myself this year, so I've been gradually doing it. But I'm not diving all the way into it like I did previously and go all out gung-ho. I'm just going to gradually, because sometimes when you go all out gung-ho and you try to go too fast, the faster you start, the easier it is for you to quit.
Exactly.
If you methodically, just kind of slowly get to the point where you need to be. You won't even notice the subtle changes that you have made to help you to get to the point that you want to. And because they will become embedded habits within you. The other thing is this, and I'm going to say this, Margaret said one of my employees drank too much water and affected her kidneys, and now she's on dialysis.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. And you can't mess up your body rhythm. Somebody said they missed the pictures of your meals too, so start that up tomorrow, Keith.
Okay, I can bring that back, Margaret. I'll definitely bring back a picture of my meals. I'll start.
Yeah, we're gonna start that.
Here's the other thing.
I think we should all start that. Yeah.
Here's the other thing as we get to the end of the show. and Arden couldn't join us tonight, unfortunately. Here's the other thing as we come down to the end of the show. Fasting is not just about weight loss alone. And I want you, I really want to emphasize this point as we are, most of our audience are 40 plus, you know what I mean, or what have you. You full grown adults, put it that way. And that's the time when manifestation of years of poor habits that you didn't realize from eating chocolate bars as a kid on up, so you got a sweet tooth or whatever, and you still have the propensity to go get the chocolate cake or whatever now, even at your adult age, because you want something sweet after you've eaten your meal, and those types of things affect you, and they come out in various ways, some type of inflammation, some type of diabetes, or something or another, you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
Fasting was one of the first forms of medicines Hippocrates used and talked about, way back in the history of mankind. It was such a method of use that God introduced to the cavemen as a way of, because they was hunter-gatherers. They had to go out and find food to eat. It wasn't readily available like we can just go get something and just call Uber.
Grocery store.
I mean, not Uber. We can call
Restaurant.
all of those delivery services to just bring food to your door. You ain't gotta go out your house to get food now. But fasting was a method that you had to fast because food wasn't readily available, and that kept you healthy. It is a way to start healing some of the things that have caught up with you as you get into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Because it is a healing process.
All righty.
Healing process. So I want you to remember that. And then last and not least, Pastor, when you do come back on, maybe you can throw something in the chat real fast before we exit the air tonight. It is also a way of practicing your devotion and practicing your religion. Because for you to be able to deny yourself of something is a real form of humbleness that really kind of helps you with your overall help me out, Q. Just selfishness and everything else. Being able to deny yourself of something. Yes.
And
mental clarity.
And it follows the example of Christ too.
Mm-hmm. Mental clarity.
Amen. So close us out, fellas. Anything you want to leave the people with?
Yeah, once again, thank y'all. We ran a little over, but thank y'all for joining us. I hope y'all learned a lot. I will be, and I'm sure Lenny and Key will too, sharing our journeys, especially as me and Lenny start over. It's all mental. It's all mental, fighting the temptation. You can't start off like Q. Q started off with, oh man, a lot. That is a lot. Mm-hmm. One meal a day, guys, that is a lot. That takes a lot of self-discipline. I don't think he would recommend anybody to start off like that. That's new. Would you, brother?
No, because it's not sustainable for the average person. And it's all about sustainability. I'd rather for you do something that you can do this on a consistent basis, and rather than start off something Lenny said, and then a week later, I'm out. I can't do this. I'm out. Yes. No, I want you to do something.
Work towards it. Crawl before you walk.
And you can adapt it for a lifestyle, for a lifetime, and become your lifestyle.
Crawl before you walk.
Yep.
All right, fellas.
Thank y'all for joining us. We got
a great guest coming up. Great guest coming up in another week or two.
Yes, sir. Incredible young lady.
This year we are going back to resurgence of our roots, which deals with fasting, and not just only fasting, but much more health-driven subject matters. Because there's no guarantee, you can go out here tomorrow and be gone, or tonight for that fact. But, you know what I mean, because nobody knows your time except for God. But however, you don't need to help yourself to run out of here.
Exactly.
So let's practice what we can practice to help each other. Love y'all and look forward to seeing y'all in future shows.
Catch y'all next week.
Join Legends of the Past tomorrow night as Armand comes on. And I'm sure he always has great things on the show for you as well. So peace and love, everybody.
Deuces. Love y'all.
All right.